Howdo, everybody, and welcome back to Stranded Deep, but not Stranded Deep as we know it. I mentioned back in the very first episode that I had been part of Stranded Deep's community since the very first Alpha 0.01. When the game first entered early access, it immediately caught my attention. I hopped in to join, and helped it develop, helped test it, and saw it grow through the various patches and hotfixes. And there are some things from earlier versions that I wish had stuck around in the version we have today. Those are still accessible if you are playing on Steam by going to the game's properties and looking in the Betas tab. You can go there, change to any of the previous versions currently listed. You can, if you so choose, go back to the original 0.01 alpha, the absolute earliest launch build. However, that build is incredibly unstable and honestly is lacking a bit for content. For example, rafts don't work because one of the very first hotfixes they did was fix a glitch that caused your rafts to become ghostly. Basically, once you reached a cell border, you would glitch through your raft and not be able to get back on. So one of the first hotfixes fixed that, and the earliest version available does not have said hotfix. Let's see. Tiger sharks are the only threat worth mentioning because they're the only thing that'll attack you. Great whites exist, but they don't have AI. I don't think marlins existed. Oh yeah, in earlier versions, marlins were hostile, so that's fun. Let's see. If the whale did exist, and actually followed shark AI, it wouldn't hurt you, but it'd follow you and potentially do a lot of damage to your stuff. Let's see. All the biomes actually had a floor. So, yeah, a lot of stuff has changed, mechanics-wise and just overall game world-wise. So, I do have an existing game from practicing, but I'm only going to be doing one episode, maybe two, for this, depending on how long it takes me to find everything. So, we can skip this intro if we want to, but this intro, I think, highlights one of the core differences between old Stranded Deep and modern Stranded Deep. See, in modern Stranded Deep, we actually were just stuck in a cutscene here, and the plane crashed on its own. Here, we have full control, and we have to craft something. So, the basic controls are a little different. You don't use the E key to interact with stuff. You press and hold the mouse button. And you'll notice the cocktail glass is showing orange. If it's orange, that means you can craft with it. When you see those horizontal, they're ellipses. Whenever you see those ellipses, that means you can press and hold the mouse button to open the crafting menu. And if you have the requisite materials, you can craft the item. Inventory is also a bit different. You only have 8 slots, period. Crates are not a thing, so you have to carry each item individually. You can't carry logs. You have to manually drag those using left mouse. And a whole bunch of items that are in the current version of Stranded Deep don't exist. The lighter, for example. This is one that only exists here. And we don't have, like, kindling, for example, to light fires. That's what the lighter's for. We would pick this up. It was flaming before, but now it's not. Now we have an empty glass with a lemon in it. And, yep, that's basically how you build stuff. And craft stuff. You make piles, press and hold the mouse button, and you can make whatever it is if you have enough materials. So, now we just sit down and enjoy the beginning of a nightmare. And you can see, yeah, the poor pilot and co-pilot just smears of blood. We can actually climb on the raft this time, instead of just it blowing up the second we get near it. Uh-oh. I heard a shark noise. That's not good. Well, we've got a relatively decent start. You'll notice the life raft doesn't have like a container unit, and it doesn't have a place for us to strap the paddle to. This is actually kind of important, because sails do not exist in this version. Custom rafts do, to an extent. There's only 2 rafts in the game. There's the rubber dinghy that we start with, which is the life raft, which I want to replace more or less as soon as possible. And then there's a upgraded raft that you can build yourself. And I want to build one of those as quick as I can. So to take stock of our inventory, we have a lighter. It's a infinite use tool that can be used to light fires. We start with a pocket knife, which we can use for basic chopping. And we have a water bottle as well. Water bottle is effectively, I believe it works like the water skin from the main version of Stranded Deep, where it holds 3 servings of water. It also starts with 3 servings. Okay, so we have a derelict on our starting island here, so that's potentially good. Oh, it's one of the ones that has a console. Looks like the console is a bit bugged, though. Can we get anything out of it? Did it drop anything? What did we get? I don't think we got anything. I think it glitched. Oh, there's a hard case here. Oh, a compass! A compass, first thing. That is amazingly good. So, you may have noticed there wasn't a cartographer option available at the start. That's because the cartographer didn't exist. If you wanted to make a map of your Stranded Deep world, you had to write it on paper and hope you knew how to do directions. Having a compass made that a lot easier. And I have my own methods for traveling around and remembering where I've been and what goes where. But for now, we want to do the basic Stranded Deep island start here. We want to look for sticks, and specifically we want rocks. Rocks are probably the biggest limiting factor in the early versions of Stranded Deep, because you don't get nearly as many. Thankfully, they are very, very useful when you do find them. So, we're probably going to be picking this island clean, that's based resources, at least as far as, like, rocks and stuff are concerned. So, let's see. So I do want this to be our home island, since this is the one we started on. I'm not going to build, like, a base or anything. At most, I'll have, like, a basic campsite. Because the stats in this game are different, too. The watch is different. You'll see you still have the same standard stuff, like you have the date and time, the weather, the temperature. If you go to the next screen over, you have your base stats, which you have health, hunger, and thirst. You'll notice SPF is not one of those stats. We can stay out in the sun all day with no ill effects. We don't have to find shelter or anything to get out of the sun. So building a actual, like, base is kind of pointless, because you don't really get anything out of it. Like, at most, you can use whatever you build as a storage bin, but it just eats up a lot of room. Item balancing's also different. There are some items that I would prefer to have, some items that I don't want to find, as per usual, and some items that aren't as useful in this version as they would be in others. So we have this wreck here. This wreck actually wouldn't be a bad spot to set up, like, an actual, like, bed. So let's drop these sticks here. Now you'll notice, unlike future versions, I have to drop each stack individually. It doesn't just move on to the next stack when the first one empties out. Alright, so we got 6 rocks there. Usually, not always, but usually, these early version islands have 8 rocks on them. Yeah, here we are. Okay. We also have potato plants, crabs, and all that fun stuff. So I want to get my pocket knife out. You can actually use hotkeys without a tool belt in this version. So I want to get my knife out. I want to find the yucca plants that are around. which they are not as pronounced as they are in the modern version. And you also don't get fibrous leaves from them. You cut them up and they just straight up drop lashing. So cut out the middleman there. And I know you might be thinking, well, without fibrous leaves, how are you supposed to get water? How does the water still work? You don't have a water still. Getting water in this version of Stranded Deep is a lot different. And also completely nonsensical and wouldn't work in real life. But that's why they added the water still. Because the water still would work in real life. Looks like we got a decent amount of sticks. And we got rocks as well. We got enough rocks. Ooh, do we have 9 rocks? I think we do. That's not bad. Okay. So next thing I want to do, let me go get my rubber raft over here. Because if I play my cards right, I won't need this again. And we'll drag this over here like we do in the modern version. Now let's see, some creature differences that we'll go over. There's a wider variety of fish. I know the varieties of fish got truncated in later versions. Like, you'll still see their models around, but they're all just counted as a fish. So, let's see. We'll put this right here. And I want the life raft... Life raft? I want the life raft to be a receptacle for coconuts. This is going to be where we store all of the fruits of the palm trees we chop down. Let's see, we got these lashings here. Drop this here for now, and this as well, because I don't need it. Alright, so... Now, to get a coconut, you just have to interact with it off the tree. Knocking the tree down will also dislodge any coconuts that are on it. And for the beginning, coconuts and potatoes, of all things, are actually going to be our main sources of sustenance until we find some useful stuff. Now, also, unlike modern versions of Stranded Deep, you're not guaranteed to have sharks on your island. I believe in this version, the blacktip reef sharks are also killable. You can hunt them for meat if you want to. Which I may do, if the situation calls for it, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier because I went straight into the Stranded Deep spiel. Why am I playing this instead of hanging out with the Fur Stooges? We had a last-minute cancellation because Kupo's family decided to drop a bombshell on him. And there was literally nothing he could do to get out of it. So, yeah, we're going to have to postpone Fur Stooges to next week. Believe me, we all wanted to continue playing Final Fantasy, but there's just nothing for it at this point. So, I figured, you know, Stranded Deep's done, Fixbox is done, might as well have a double chill stream night while I take a break from Let's Playing to prepare for my next one, which I already know what I'm going to be playing next, but y'all will find that out next week. And also slightly differently from my other chill streams that I usually do, this chill stream actually will be going up on YouTube as a sort of bonus episode for the Stranded Deep series. So let's try not to take too long. Alright, so we'll dump all these in here. You'll also notice that items in this game are kind of bouncy. And their collisions are a little weird when it comes to stacking them in a bunch of piles. Okay, so let's start by making some basic tools here. I need a crude hammer, first and foremost. You need a hammer to build anything. Do I have enough for a foundation? I do. I have just enough. So instead of building a foundation to make a base, I want to put the foundation in the water. And that turns it into a raft. That is the main thing we need the hammer for. There will be a few other things we'll need it for, but this crude hammer we have will effectively last us the entire adventure. So we'll just put this here. We don't need it right now. I am going to need more sticks, and we are out of sticks. So it's time. Oh yeah, I don't need the lighter either. I can drop that on the ground. But it's time to cut down some trees with a little pocket knife, which is something you can do. Now, I want you to observe how long this takes. Not bad for a pocket knife, but that did ding it pretty hard. So what I want to do is I'm actually going to show you guys a bit of a trick once the pocket knife kind of wears out, because we will have a universal chopping tool not too long from now. So what I want to do with these is I actually don't want to break these up immediately. With the exception of the logs, I will break up a couple of these because I do need them. But with like the palm bunches, even though they're called logs, they're palm bunches, I kind of want to keep all the palm bunches in one spot because there's only really one recipe that I can think of that I will actually use that requires a palm frond, and that's making a bed. Otherwise, you can use palm fronds to fill up your campfires, which will let our base here last a lot longer than it otherwise would. It takes twice as many palm fronds to keep a fire going than sticks, but, you know, having extra fuel for the fire will definitely make it a bit easier just to kind of hang around in the long run. So, I definitely want to put that there. Take this. I believe this is the version where you can also use straight up just logs as firewood and just put them in there to fully refuel your fire. So I do want to chop down these smaller trees, at least while this knife is still in good condition. Yeah, that's roughly 15 hits. Yeah, 15 hits for the pocket knife, which, fairly weak. It's not the weakest tool in the game, but it is the weakest chopping tool in the game that has durability. There is one tool that is weaker, but it compensates for that weakness by being unbreakable, which we'll get one of those in a second. And due to quirks in this particular version of the game, that low strength really doesn't matter. Apologies if I'm clearing my throat a bunch, I did just have dinner. So let's see, I think I'll chop this one down next. This knife may not last the tree. I don't think so. Nope, it broke. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We need a stone tool. Or at least what is called a stone tool in modern versions. In this version, it's called a rock shard. Now, you can't just craft a stone tool with a rock. What you do is you treat it like a coconut. Hoist it up, toss it down. That'll break it up into 2 rock shards. And the rock shard works exactly like the stone tool from the full version of Stranded Deep, with one particular noteworthy bit of important information. This has no durability. You can use this infinitely. It is the weakest chopping tool in the game, but it will never break on you. So I'm going to be using the stone shard here, or the rock shard, as my go-to chopping tool because I have ways around how weak it is. Because there's a exploit you can do with how the game reads inputs to get around that problem. And this is actually a pretty good way to demonstrate that. I'll probably demonstrate it on a larger tree. So that way we can kind of gauge how long it takes to actually do some damage with it. So yeah, let's take this over here for now. Another rock? Oh, heck yeah. I didn't even see that there. Okay, it's going to get dark soon, but we have plenty of things to do overnight to keep us busy, so that's not a huge deal. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 hits to break a log off, and I'm pretty sure it's also 19 hits to cut down a tree. So yeah, nearly 20 hits, and with no skill trees to speak of, you cannot improve that just by playing the game. What you do, however, is, let's chop this down. There is a bug in this version of the game where you can, quote, fast forward your inputs. Any sort of input that requires using the mouse can be multi-inputted over a span of time. So we know it takes 19 hits to break one of these off. So we'll aim for the palm bunch. Now watch what I'm going to do here. Watch how fast this goes. You hear how I'm kind of hitting it twice? See? That came off much faster. So how you do it is you have to have something targeted or doing some kind of action that uses this action. You notice how I'm holding the key and he keeps swinging it. While you're in the middle of that swing animation, hold the mouse button, pause the game. Pause it with escape. And then you release the mouse button, press escape again, and then as soon as the game screen comes back up, click and hold the mouse again. You'll know you're doing it right if you hear multiple instances of the same sound effect. Now, that's not all. You can't just only do doubles. You can do triples too. Okay. The triple is harder to time, but if you can get it right, it goes super fast. There we go. You heard it go there for a second, so I did eventually get a triple to work. So that is how I compensate for how weak the rock shard is I just use the fast forward method. Just fast forward all of my chops and whatnot. So it's going to be really hard to see for the first little bit because we don't have any light sources. Of the available light sources, I think actually, technically speaking, I think the lighter can be used for that. And at least I know it could in really early versions. No, it doesn't light. You can only use it on a fire. It used to be it actually made a flame, but I guess that doesn't work in this version. But that's okay. Yeah, the moon's still new. But we've got all night. We've got an unbreakable chopping tool, so I say we take advantage of it. Where'd the tree go? It, like, flew off somewhere. Well, we just lost a tree. That's unfortunate. It's probably in the water somewhere. Oh, actually, I think... Is that it right there? No, that's a rock. I'll probably have to look in the morning. It probably, like, flew off into the shallows somewhere. Or maybe it flew off onto another part of the island. Who knows? But, yeah. Early version, janky. There we go. That's a triple. And you see, this one didn't fly off, so we're good there. But yeah, you can do triple with anything that uses the mouse. So like swinging your weapon or swinging your tool to chop something, attacking with a weapon, and most importantly, paddling, because paddling is more or less the only real method of conveyance we have. No boat motor, no sail. I probably should amend that statement. The boat motor is in the game, it's just useless, as it was in the main version. However, unlike the main version, there is actually a really good reason, well, actually even like the main version, there's a really good reason why it's useless. In the main version, it's useless because you need a fuel still to keep it running, which requires time, and resources as well, because it takes water to grow the potatoes. And not to mention, there's no real benefit to using it because having a sail moves the raft just as fast. In this version, it's even more useless because the only way you can get fuel is by finding a jerry can inside of a wreck. The jerry cans in this version are full of gas. You don't have to fill them yourself. but once they're empty, they're gone, and they're basically useless to you. So jerry cans are basically one-shot refills for the boat engine. The boat engine can only be put on a custom raft, as you would expect. There's a glitch in this version with the boat motor that randomizes its speed when you first build it. Because what it's supposed to be is there's supposed to be like a minimum speed and top speed that increases kind of linearly on a gradient. I think I'm using that correctly. But, and how it's supposed to work is you start out real slow, but then the longer the motor goes, the faster it goes. Like, the faster the speed increases. And that's how it's supposed to work. However, the code doesn't read that correctly, and what it does instead is it randomly assigns the raft, if you use the boat motor, it randomly assigns it a speed ranging between the slowest possible speed and the fastest possible speed. And you won't know that until you attach it to your boat, crank the motor, and try moving it. Paddling is just infinitely more consistent because paddling only has the one speed. And if you want to speed it up, you can double or triple your inputs. So you will always be better off with a paddle instead of a boat motor. That being said, this makes the paddle probably the single most important item in the game, because if we lose it, we can't get anywhere. Now, there actually is a way to circumvent that problem, because you can find paddles in boat loot. They're not particularly common, but they are there. But, there is a way around that with a piece of loot that got cut, but is currently in this version. You can actually find parts of a diving suit, or, like, scuba gear. You can find that in Rex as well. And the main three things that you can find that are like dive gear, the only one that survived into the main game is the dive tank, or the air tank, which, sadly, this version does not have any ranged options whatsoever. So we don't have a bow and arrow, we don't have puck. If we end up getting into trouble, we're just going to have to fight our way out with melee, which is one of the reasons why I'm using the rock shard for a cutting tool, because the actual intended cutting tools are better used as weapons, which I'll get to in a minute once I actually depopulate this, or, well, deforest this island. What's over here? Okay, you are keeping up good. Things can be a little janky. Kind of like that. It may or may not get annoying constantly seeing the pause screen flash up for me to fast forward stuff, but trust me, I know if I was in your guys' shoes, I would much rather things go faster than not have to see that pause screen every once in a while. So, I think it's a fair trade-off. So, much like the main version of Stranded Deep, there is some common sense that goes into the gameplay. You obviously don't want to go swimming at night, because that's when the sharks are more active. Oh yeah, there's only 3 types of shark in this version as well. There's the blacktip reef shark, which is harmless, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure in this version you can hunt them for food, whereas in the main version they're invincible. Let's see, there are tiger sharks, which are the most common. You'll probably see me fighting those the most. And then there's great whites, which, honestly, the way the spawn rules work in this version, great whites are so rare that I'd kind of have to go out of my way to find one. And yeah, I'm not particularly interested in doing that. Just because great whites are just as dangerous in this version as they are in the modern version. They will still two-shot you, and additionally, they actually can do some more stuff. Great whites in this version, I think they can do it in the modern game as well, but I haven't been bitten by one in the modern game, so I don't know for sure. Well, I have, but it didn't break my arm, but it did make me bleed. Whereas in this one, they can break your arm and cause bleeding. Whereas with tiger sharks, I think tiger sharks can just cause bleeding if they bite you. And it's random. Status effects as well, speaking of bleeding and broken arms. Status effects in the earlier versions are brutal. Like, they're pretty bad in the main version as well, but once you get situated, like with a farm and stuff, they're pretty manageable. Not in this version. There are a grand total of, I think, 4 renewable resources, and one of those resources requires an item to be renewable. The 3 resources that are renewable always are potato plants, yucca plants, and crabs, believe it or not. Of those, the potato and the yucca plants will always respawn after a set amount of time has passed. So you'll always have potatoes, you'll always have lashings. So you don't got to worry about that, even though lashings are of pretty limited use in this version. You can't really make bandages with them. That's what duct tape is for. But I know I saw a coconut. There we go. But there are actually 4 status effects in this version of the game compared to the original, or not the original, the main game's 3 negative status effects. You still have poison, you still have broken bones, and you still have, what is it? Let's see, poison, broken bone, what's the other one? Bleed. You still have all of those. But there's a 4th one that is unique to these early versions called cold. If you swim in deep water long enough, you will actually catch a cold, and your character will start coughing. Now, unlike the other 3 status effects, at least if memory serves, colds don't do anything. Like, they don't actually do any health damage or anything. Whereas all the other ones slowly drain your health until you fix the problem. Bleed, in particular, is probably one of the nastier status effects to get. Bleed and poison are probably the nastier effects to get. Broken bones, gnarly, and it drains your health, but it doesn't really do anything aside from making your arm look really nasty. Poison is bad because it's a greater drain than the broken bone, and poison is really, really, really hard to cure in the early versions because pippies aren't a thing. You can't just make your own antidotes. You have to loot a wreck and hope that the wreck has what you need. Same thing with broken bones and bleeding. Broken bones, you need a shot of morphine. Presumably your character jabs themselves in the arm with morphine to completely numb the pain and manually realigns their arm. That's the only way I can assume that would work. Let's see, for poison, you need antibiotics for some reason. I don't know why things designed to kill bacteria would get rid of toxins from your body, but apparently in the early versions of Stranded Deep, that's how that works. Let's see, to cure bleeding, you need a bandage, which bandages you can actually craft. If you get lucky enough to find cloth and duct tape, you can make your own bandages. But you can also, of course, just find bandages in wrecks. So, bleed is the easier of the 3 to cure, but it's still pretty bad, because bleed in this version explicitly attracts sharks to you if you swim while you have bleed. So, yeah, definitely want to be careful of that. Generally speaking, you can save anywhere in this version. You don't need, like, a campsite or a bed to save. So, generally speaking, what I do is I always save before I go shark fighting, or do anything dangerous, really. And if I get either poisoned or bleed, I just reload the save, because it's easier to deal with them that way than it is having to scour the entire Pacific to find 1 bottle of antibiotics or 1 bandage. Now, thankfully, poison is pretty rare. Unless you're just swimming in the ocean willy-nilly with no regards for your safety, you really shouldn't get poisoned, because lionfish are the only things that can and will poison you. Thankfully, crown of thorns starfish don't exist. Let's see. I want a crude spear. I can use the crude spear for fishing, and it's the only other use for a stone or a rock shard, so that helps. And I want to make a crude axe. This is going to be my main defense against sharks in the early game. It is the 2nd best chopping tool in the game, which means it's the 2nd best weapon for killing sharks. I think it takes almost 20 hits with one of these to kill a shark or something. Maybe it's something like 14 to 16. I don't remember. But it doesn't take nearly as many hits as the weaker tools do. Let's see. I'll take care of everything else once I've taken care of everything here. I'm really hungry. So let's... I'm going to need... Do I have enough rocks for this? I do. I have just enough. So what I need is to make a fire. I need a campfire. And I want to put the campfire... We'll put the campfire... Let's put it on the other side of our little base here. So we'll put the campfire right there. Because we'll put our bed inside that place. So now that we have that, let's drop these. Now this is going to be using the last of our rocks, but with 6 rocks, we should be able to make a fire pit. Yep, fire pit. So that'll make the fires last longer. Now I need 8 sticks, which means I'm going to need to break up another one of these. All right, now where is my hammer? 4. Now... I don't have enough sticks. Oh, wait. I do. Foundation. So I'm going to do something a little weird, and you would think this wouldn't work, because logic dictates this shouldn't, but it can. If you build, in this version, a foundation over a campfire, because normally what you have to do is you have to grab an item and hold it over the flame, unless you have a fire spit. Fire spit in this version is literally just a little piece of string over the fire that holds whatever it is you're trying to cook. However, if you put a foundation over it, like that, that will allow you to stack a bunch of things on top of it. So I want to explain a mechanic that is unique to this version of Stranded Deep. You'll notice these crabs around here. I step on them, they don't pinch me. And there's also blue ones in addition to red ones. You'll also notice this little mound that the potato plant's coming out of. That mound is a crab nest. You'll always find crabs hanging around near those. So I want to leave this big blue one, and there was a big red one. Where is it? Okay, this big red one. I want to leave the big red one and the big blue one alone, because the red one is a male crab, the blue one is a female crab. So as long as you have at least one male and one female crab, the crab nest will continually repopulate. It's slow, but it is an infinite food source. So I want to leave this guy alone. And I'm actually going to pick up this crab because you can do that. And I want you right here. You go mate with your friend. I'll take that. Oh, another one. Yeah, I want those two to mate if possible and keep the population going. But we've got about 8 crabs, roughly. So now each island has 2 crab nests. You just kind of have to look for them. Looking at it, oh yeah! Okay, so both the crab nests are more or less like right next to each other. I think I may have accidentally depopulated this one then, but that's okay. Alright, well we have 8 crabs. That should do for our food supply for now. And what I want to do is cook all of these up on a grill, which is why I have this foundation here. This foundation effectively turns this into Stranded, the main game's version, or what the main game equivalent would be, a hobo stove. You just stack a bunch of meat on top of it, you light the fire with a lighter, and it'll cook everything on top of it. So grab a lighter real quick. There we go. Now, once you light a fire in this version of Stranded Deep, there's no way to put it out. So it's just going to burn for a while. Let's see. Yeah, food's not looking too good. However, while we have some daylight, I'm going to save. Yes. I'm going to get my axe out just in case. And I want to investigate this. This stuff's in the shallows. Okay, we got a toolbox. What do we got? Ooh, a machete. Okay. A machete's pretty good. A machete is a cutting tool. It's worse than the axe, but it'll do as a backup weapon in case our stone axe breaks, which hopefully it shouldn't, but you never know. Crazy stuff might happen. And much like in the main game, once the food's done cooking, you will hear a large or a very loud ding, like a microwave, to let you know that your food's ready. So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of looking out. There you go. All the food's done. But what I'm kind of doing right now is I'm looking out into the sea, trying to see if there's any bubbles visible on the surface. Because like little splashes or bubbles indicate where there's like underwater wrecks, but I'm not seeing any around here. Okay, and look at all that. All these nice and roasted. So let's see, I think these are 2 each, so 3 of these ought to do. I'll actually leave you there, because I need to drink as well. Yeah. So what I'll do for this... Thankfully, diarrhea is not a thing in this version. Is coconuts. Coconuts are going to be our main water source for a bit. So you have to peel the skin off, and you have to hit them both once to make them a drinkable coconut. That'll take care of our water. Cur smash. Cur smash. And a coconut half is worth roughly half a point of food. And there we go. Alright, we're good to go. I'm going to go exploring real quick. Just kind of around the immediate area. I'm not going to go like to another island yet. I just kind of want to explore around the local area just to see if there's anything out in the water that might be of interest. And I'm not too worried about sharks. The sharks are pretty unsubtle in this version. They make their presence known. But, they're also, in general, a lot more aggressive, where they won't, like, spend time avoiding you. If their AI detects you in the area, they, like, kind of beeline to you, almost. Or at the very least, they, like, slowly home in on you. So, when they're there, they make sure you know they're there. So, but yeah, you kind of see how slow we're going. This is, like, the default paddle pace. Going double speed. Uh-oh. Looks like we're getting a fog bank rolling in. Oh, well. So much for going out onto the water. Ooh, we got a nice little crater there. That crater is actually going to be very helpful. Well, we got a fog bank, so we can't really do anything about that. Weather effects in this version of Stranded Deep are pretty annoying. Because you've got fog banks, you've got rain, and you've got storms. Fog banks like this, as you can see, just shroud the entire area in fog. You can't see crap. They also darken the water. Basically, when there's a fog bank event, there really is nothing you can do. You just have to wait for the fog to go away. So, let's see. Guess we're chopping trees. I know there were coconuts in that tree. Where'd those coconuts go? Oh yeah, I was supposed to go looking for that tree that flew off somewhere. That's actually a really good question. Where are those coconuts? Where'd they go? Like they just disappeared. Oh, here they are. Well, one of them anyway. Let's see. I don't see any other coconut. But yeah, eventually we will have to get in the water whether we like it or not. So I just hope the weather clears up so we can actually go into the water in a reasonable time frame. I don't see any more coconuts around. Yeah, I can get the double pretty consistently. It's the triple that usually gives me trouble. And I don't use triples for combat either. There's another bug with that, but I'm not gonna exploit that one because that one doesn't work nearly as well. I actually might be able to grab those from this rock. So come here. No, you don't. Oh, it froze in midair. Come on. You can fall. There you go. What did I break off? I broke off something. What did I break off? Huh. Eh? This one seems to be glitched. Whoa! Where do you think you're going? Yeah, you are being very finicky. I actually missed with one of them, so I'm only still getting two. Oh, okay. I guess I just didn't want it to detach for some reason. Yeah, I just didn't want it to detach. That's really weird. Oh well. Well, the good news is the fog's gone. The bad news is that it's also like almost sunset, so, well, it is sunset. It's almost nighttime, so we can't actually do anything. Wait, what the hell? How did this get over here? Weird. I guess, I wonder if it, like, duplicated the tree when I cut it down. If it did, I've never seen it do that before. Wait, what? What the hell? Oh my god, you can actually see the part of the tree that's moving. That is so weird. Yeah, look. It's still considering this part of the thing. Hang on. Right, you need to come off, if possible. Come on. Okay. Ah, yeah, it duplicated the tree. Okay. Well, I guess that makes up for the one tree that glitched out. So we still win on number of trees. Now, thankfully, with all these palm bunches, I'm actually... That's still moving logs? I think it is. There we go. But, I think with the, what was that I have to say? Oh, yeah, with the amount of palm fronds we're going to have here, we can very easily make ourselves a bed and sleep through the rest of the night, but might as well work. Take advantage of the moonlight. Okay, that did, in fact, split. So we're good. I think that's all that done. And then that just leaves you, Mr. Log that's floating in the air. How dare you? And I want to leave them in like their log and palm bunch forms just because they're easier to keep track of that way. Sticks tend to fly everywhere. I don't think any coconuts fell from that tree. We'll look around later for any coconuts that may have fallen, but I don't think there are any. Yeah, you are very much at the mercy of RNG in the early versions of Stranded Deep, because the weather can just change on you suddenly with more or less no warning. Okay. So I think for a bed, I need 5 palm fronds to make a bed. I should have enough sticks, but if not, I do have logs here. Now, something else you can do to pass the time at night is you can scan the shoreline, or like walk around the shoreline and gaze out to sea, because the little bubbles that denote where all the wrecks are a lot easier to see at night. Okay, I'm going to need some more sticks, though. So let's move this over here. Move another one just in case we need it. No, I can't make a bed with that. I think I need a hammer to make a bed, actually. Now, where these sticks came from? Oh, right, because of the glitched tree, right. Foundation. I think I need some more palm fronds. I don't think I actually grabbed anything. Right. Now we hopefully have enough. Can I make a bed without the hammer? No, I need the hammer to make a bed. Or do I not have enough lashings, maybe? A lack of lashings might be a problem. It might be the lack of lashings. Let me check the yucca plants around here. Yeah, they're back. So maybe the lashings that's stopping me from getting a bed? There we go. Now I gotta be careful with this. So let's see, 4 lashing, 4 palm, and 6 sticks. I want to move these over here. That way they make their own pile. just so when I do make the bed, it doesn't make a massive mess. Okay, I think these are still too close. Yeah, these are still too close. Let me try over here on the shoreline. Okay, that's their own separate pile, so definitely want these then. And there we go. We now have a bed, so we can pick up the bed and we can move it. And if I were in this situation, IRL, I would be moving the bed inside this derelict because this derelict actually gives some semi-decent shelter. And, I mean, hell, it protects from the weather on, like, roughly half of the sides. I think that's where the pillow is. You can just barely see it, but it's there. Okay. Let's drag you in here. My sweet little bed. Yeah, we'll drag you, like, right there. I think that's a good spot. Yeah, if I was living in this kind of situation, having the bed, like, right there, survival-wise, I think would be the smartest move, because you're sheltered from the elements in here. Granted, with this rusted-out hull, that's a massive tetanus risk, but, yeah, you gotta pick your poison, I guess. Now, unfortunately, I think the moon is setting, so there's really no reason to sleep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a coconut. Actually, we'll see... Oh. I guess my life raft got, like, knocked over here by the massive glitched palm tree. And it doesn't seem to want to move. That's not good. Did any of my coconuts get knocked out? Oh! Oh, jeez. Yeah, it got glitched inside of a tree and just jettisoned all my coconuts. Thanks, game. You gotta love jank. Give me my coconuts back. That's not a coconut. Wait, no, that is a coconut. Give me that. That's not a coconut. Okay. Oh, and we have a morning fog bank. Man, the game just does not want me to go anywhere. Okay, I am getting all of these out of here before they get jettisoned again. And I'm going to try and get this thing unstuck. There we go. Let's put you back where you belong. But yeah, until the fog goes away, there really isn't much I can do. Now, unfortunately, it does still have the Minecraft you can only sleep at night thing, so I can't sleep through this fog bank and hope it'll go away. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I think I still lost a couple of coconuts, but that should be okay. It's early on, so I can leave the machete here. Now, the spear is primarily just used for catching fish. That's the only thing you can use it for. You can fight a shark with it, but it does so little damage that you're better off just using anything else, really. thankfully, water doesn't drain nearly as fast in this version as it does in the modern version, so actually keeping up with your vital statistics. Whoa, that crab did, like, nothing. Okay. I must have lost a hunger point. Oh, never mind. Okay, then. Now, there was an island somewhere. Yeah, there's one over there, but with that fog bank, I don't want to risk it. However, it is relatively close, and we could potentially find some good stuff over there. So let me grab my compass just to make sure I'm going the right way. Even if this is just like a next-door neighbor kind of situation, I still like having the ability to tell where I'm going. So, let's see. Now, something you want to be very careful of in Stranded Deep with the rafts is, in these early versions, the rafts are not very stable. So you kind of want to do what you can to increase stability, which the primary way of doing that is by crouching on it while you paddle. It makes it a little harder for sharks to knock you off. And hell, sometimes the sharks don't mean to knock you off. Sometimes you just glitch off the raft. But it's the only thing that's kind of keeping us safe. So there's an island over there. I can see it in the distance. That's at roughly 210. So let's save. Crouch on our raft. There we go. We're going double speed. Now, the nice thing about fog is that it does clear away the sort of kind of fog of war effect that underwater has. So you can kind of see better underwater. Not by much, but it does reduce it. Okay, so that wasn't too long a trip. So let's see. We went 210 to go this way, so we need to look at 30 to go back. Okay. So the fog is still there, so what I'll do is I'll look in that direction and then drop my paddle. For now, that's what I want to do. I'll use the paddle to kind of point back. So we want to point at 30, which is in that direction. 30's like right there. So our island should be that way. Now you may have also noticed there's no currents. I could leave my raft out there and it wouldn't drift at all. I think the fog is starting to vanish. Uh-oh. Okay, well there's our first tiger shark. Oh, that's not good. This island has 2 of them. Okay. That's going to make this interesting and potentially dangerous. So the big thing with sharks in this one is, like I mentioned, you can't range them. Ooh, a toolbox. Okay, we don't need that hammer because we have a crude one. I believe in this version, hammers are invincible. So once you craft a crude hammer, you don't need an upgraded one. So I want 4 sticks to start because this will help me find my way back. Where is my paddle at? My raft and paddle are over here. So the island I came from is at 30, which is that island right there. So I want to have an arrow made of sticks pointing at that island, because we don't have like shelters or smokers or anything that can do the job. So an arrow made of sticks is the best thing we got. So now if I ever get lost and find myself back on this island, I see this arrow, I know that's the direction I came from, go that way. And that's basically how navigation in the early versions of Stranded Deep work. Is you use a compass to figure out exactly which island you looked at, because you can see all of those island billboards in the distance. They all look exactly the same. As long as they're on the horizon, how big or small they look really doesn't matter. Like, that tiny island could be like the next cell over for all we know. Okay, looks like we got a sandbar out there. A sandbar that has a derelict. I can actually sprint to that. That's good. Any easy wrecks you can get are really, really nice. Because that means less danger I have to fight to get potentially good loot. Now, does this one have anything? It has a hard case. What do we got here? Oh, a cloth. Excellent. Okay, so cloth on its own isn't that useful, but if you combine it with duct tape, you can make a bandage. So we already have half of what we need to fix ourselves up in case we get bit, which, as we're playing this version, we are definitely more likely to get bit. I'm also going to go ahead and kind of do a mental finger point at the thalassophobia warning tag that I've got, because in this version of Stranded Deep, you will be going underwater in deep, dark places. So, just a fair warning for anybody who might be thalassophobic and is watching my streams. Okay, so we got that tiger shark right there. As you can see, not subtle at all. He sticks out like a sore thumb. They tend to come close to the surface. They will go under, like, every now and again, but yeah, they're just kind of there. Let's see, we got that hammer. I want to empty out my inventory, so let's go over here then. Leave this cloth right here for now. I got my axe. The axe is going to be the best means I have of defending myself. And big wrecks are the things that you really want, because big wrecks have multiple sort of loot sources that you can grab from. Now, this one, I may want my raft for this one, just so I have easier access to it. Something else that's important to note is that the orange grab bars that exist in the modern game that you can use to climb onto stuff don't exist. Climbing onto things in the early version is actually pretty difficult to do. Right, so I'm going to save. There is a pretty decent chance that while I'm over here investigating this boat, one or both of those tiger sharks is going to come say hi. And while I'm on the subject of tiger sharks, or just sharks in general, sharks do have a defined territory, but it's defined as the cell that they spawned in, not a particular quadrant of that cell, like it is in the modern game. Like in the modern game, for example, what do we got in here? Goggles. Okay, so goggles are one of the... Yeah, you can see how close both of those sharks are to each other. They're basically touching at this point. They can and will gang up on you if they both aggro onto you. So, like, this one here is probably going to aggro pretty soon. Yeah, he just aggroed on me. He's seen me. The music hasn't started, but you can see how fast he's moving. Yeah, he's aggroed. So, the way you fight sharks in this version of Stranded Deep is you have to kind of play chicken with them. I mentioned this before in the main playthrough when talking about alternate methods for fighting them if you don't have a ranged attack, is jumping on their back and stabbing them a few times. That's how they work in this one. You want to jump on top of them, stay on top of them if you can, and just smack them a bunch. Now this one's actually in a pretty advantageous position, because he keeps coming into this little inlet where he gets trapped. Now I do want to be careful. Ah! See, he bit me. He almost went through the sand there. Sand sharks are a thing, by the way. Sharks can glitch through the sand if they're attacking. Now, thankfully, he didn't bleed me there, so... Okay. Ow! Now, you want to be careful when they do that, because when they do that, they can grab you, and if they grab you, they can potentially drag you onto the island, which is one of the real reasons why I saved, aside from the potential for getting bled. I don't want to bleed. Now, the problem is, eventually, this guy will run away, and if he runs away towards his friend, I won't be able to kill him. Sharks do have health regeneration in this game. It's something like, I think, almost 5 minutes after you smack them, if they manage to get away from you, and that amount of time passes, they start regenerating health. Oh, okay. I think I got him in the tail, but I don't think I actually got any damage off. You can tell you actually hit them when they do a flinch animation. If they don't flinch, you didn't do any damage. Okay, so he's going away from his friend, so that actually makes it easier to kill him. I just need him to pop back up. Where is he? Now, aggressive shark AI is a little easier to exploit in this version because they are more likely to attack you if your back is to them, wherever they happen to be. Looks like he's fled. I do need to be careful, though, because he still could be out and about. Yeah, he's over there. But we know where he is now, so I can go back to my boat. Or my raft, rather. Slowly climb onto it. Let's see if I can find him. Where is he? And healing in Stranded Deep works like it, in this version, works like it does in the main one. Just gotta keep your food and water meters full, and... Okay, yeah, he's completely ignoring me at this point, so... Let me... paddle a little bit away from here. This way I can open the door and see what's in here. Ooh, a bucket of seawater. That is probably one of the best things we can get. Vitamins, another machete, a torch. Very nice. Okay, so 3 of the 4? Not bad. We got some pretty decent loot from that. I need a drink. Hang on. Okay. I would like to kill him, but I also don't want to die. So... let's head back to shore now that I've looted that, because this is some really good loot we got here. Okay. He's isolated from his friend, so he should be a little easier to kill now. Granted, I don't have the item that makes killing them a little bit less risky. Oh yeah, I never explained what the goggles do. Funnily enough, the goggles do nothing. Supposedly, what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to let you see underwater better, but visibility underwater isn't affected whether you have goggles or not. So, yeah, and they're infinitely equipable. Every time you find one, you can equip a new pair, and it doesn't do anything. Let's see, that's a black tip reef shark. Where's the tiger shark at? He's over there. Hey, tiger shark! There he is. What time is it? It's getting late in the day, and he's trying to cut me off. Okay, he's going towards the shore. Ah! He bit me. I can take a couple of more hits. As long as he doesn't bleed me, I should be fine. And you see he's running away now, too. Come on. Get on the raft, you fool. Yeah, as you can see, rafts are pretty tricky to get onto. Whoa! So, I glitched off my raft there. That's not good. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's right there. Okay. Where did my raft go? My raft is right there. Okay. There's a piece of equipment you can find that makes dealing with tiger sharks like this a lot easier. Because there's a pair of flippers you can potentially find inside hard cases. Flippers increase your sprint speed underwater, like to the point where a non-aggroed shark cannot catch you. They kind of get like speed boosts as you damage them, which is why this guy's moving so fast. But if they're undamaged and you sprint swim underwater, they can't catch you if you have flippers. Now, if they ambush you from the front, that's a different story. But generally speaking, a shark will not be able to catch you if you haven't aggroed it already with flippers. And it also makes keeping up with them to smack them up the side of the head a lot easier. But for now, this guy's just kind of kicking the crap out of me. And I'm probably going to have to rest for the night. Okay, well, the shark music started up again, so where is he? Water's getting too dark. I'm going to retreat for now. Alright. So what I'm going to do... Oh, he's over there. Let's see. I need to decide what I'm going to take home and make my way back home. So... I don't care about the vitamins too much. I already have a machete. The bucket of water I definitely want to keep. And I need rocks. So... let me see if I can find some rocks. I need 6 rocks to take back home. Oh! Hey! It's Wally! The Wilson reference. I didn't even see him on the ground there. Yeah, this is a reference to Wilson from Castaway. You can just find him randomly on the islands. He's in the main game, too. I just never found him. There's another reference to Castaway that you can find. Oh yeah, the torch. I almost forgot about the torch. We can operate better at night now. Because you'll notice the torch isn't in my inventory. That's because it's bound to the R key. We now have an infinite use flashlight that works on command. Let's see, I need 6 rocks. I wouldn't say it works well enough to warrant night diving. Night diving's never a smart thing to do. What? How did these get here? I didn't make those. Interesting. I guess when they spawned in midair and they fell enough to break on impact. That's... can't seem to have seen that before. Okay, I need 2 more rocks. And I should be able to do what I need to do. Yeah, you can see there's a ton of wrecks over here. Okay, we found the crab nest for this island. I need 2 more rocks. 1 more rock. Let's see. Okay, Wally, you gotta go, buddy. Sorry. Any more rocks around? But yeah, this makes operating at night a lot more feasible. Move this stuff over here. Yeah. I'll need to go home and heal. I just need to find a rock first. I hope those rock shards over there weren't like the last rock that I need and the only other rock left. Because that's going to be really bad if that's the case. Because I need 1 more rock. Because I need to make another fire pit. Let's see. There's got to be more rocks around here somewhere. There's one. Okay. Yeah, okay. I've got my rocks now. We're good. I'm going to need these when I get home. I've got plenty of sticks. Hey, more rocks. I might as well take it. Let's see, there's crabs. Yeah, that's a crab nest. I'll leave that alone. No sense in going after all them. They didn't do anything. Let's see. Whereas we have plenty of cooked crab at home. Not to mention, home is shark-free, at least from what I've seen, so we can safely fish over there. Okay. Looks good to me, so we've got the rocks. I don't need Wally. Well, I guess I can take Wally home. Might be helpful at some point. And I want the bucket of seawater. So, those are the main things I need. I'm gonna grab my paddle. Where's my boat? And then we're gonna head back home. Yeah, right here. So we're gonna head back to our home island. And we're gonna go heal, because that's basically what we need to do. Where's the arrow? The big problem with the arrow is that it's really easy to mess up if you're not careful. So, let's see. The arrow is pointing to that island right there, so that's the island we need to go to. We actually moving? Yeah, we're not beached anymore. So... and it's that island, dead ahead. Yeah, it's not too far away, thankfully. I can actually see our fire. So you may have seen the water kind of get like a splash effect there. That is a animation that plays whenever you transition to another cell. You want to be careful when you're doing that because it's kind of hard to notice, but every time I paddle the raft, it is slowly pushing me backwards. And you get pushed back a little bit more whenever you cross a cell threshold. I don't think the fire is lit. Either that or it's glitched. So let's make another fire pit here. I'm going to need some more sticks too, I think. I need 8 sticks for a foundation. I think I might have enough. Well, actually, I'm going to need more for the fire anyway. So let's go ahead and make another fire pit. Okay. So this campfire, I want right here. Yeah, this area is relatively flat. I'll put it right here. Fire pit. That's the extra rock. And I want to put another grill over it. Now this one is not going to be for food. I'll go ahead and deposit Wally right here. He can be my little... Or he could trash my bed. Bad Wally. Let's see. Come on, Wally. Stand up straight. You know what? Wally... You can welcome me home. You can stay right there. Okay, so the next thing I need to do before I do anything with that, where's my hammer? One foundation. Now this can connect to that, but I don't want it to. I want this to be another grill. Right there. Oh, we got a bot, do we? I don't know how long you've been here, but bam. Got that. Actually, not that there. Okay, so I need to find where... Okay, I think that fire is actually dead and it's just glitching. Alright, so I need to find where the crater is. We have a little crater on our island somewhere. That's just like a hole in the shallows that we can actually, like, dive into. Where's the crater? You'll also notice no stamina gauge, so we can sprint infinitely. So that's just a rock. Where's the crater? I know we had, like, a crater around here. That's not it. Where is it? I may just have to look for it in the morning. Okay, I'm going to do something incredibly dangerous, but I need to do it to show this off. So we need this empty bucket. You go underwater, it slowly fills. And then once it's full... Note, this is complete nonsense. Don't try this in real life. This won't work. But with this bucket of water... Yeah, you have to be careful. This bucket of water can very easily spill. I'm going to put this on top of our little grill. And then light the fire. That bucket of seawater will be purified by the flames until... Oh, hello. Yeah, Mr. Hardcase, you glitched through the ceiling there. Didn't drop anything. Console... Oh, console didn't. Jump. Oh boy, it's getting foggy. Can we, like, not have fog for, like, a day? That'd be nice. And there we go, a bucket of fresh water. Again, this won't actually work like this in real life. What that will do in real life instead is the heat will evaporate all the water and just leave you with a bucket of salt. Which would be useful for, like, preserving your food, yeah, but... Okay, so we just kind of want to hang out today and wait for our health to regenerate because we have full vitals otherwise. Now, thankfully, health regenerates pretty quickly if your stats are full. So... I want to look around, see if I can find that crater. Where is the crater? Might be a little hard to see in the fog. But I know we have it. It's somewhere nearby. Not this, is it? Is this the crater? No, that's not the crater. Maybe the crater was on the other island, and I'm just getting confused. I don't know. Oh, hey, look at that, a stray coconut. I'll have to explore a bit, I guess. I'm gonna see how our friends the crabs are doing. They probably haven't repopulated yet, because I did brutalize them pretty hard, but... Let's see... Well, we still got these two. I'm not seeing any others around, though, so it might take them a while to mate. Unless these are two from different nests, so they may not mate in that case. I don't know. I haven't tried enough to see if that would actually be the case or not. Yeah, you can see we're slowly getting our health back. Guess I can go ahead and reload the, or refill the... Is that rock floating? No. My mind's playing tricks. Let's see. Let's go ahead and refill the fire. I think it might still be burning. Either way, it seems to be glitched, so let's reload the save, see if that fixes it. And it'll always tell you 0 days survived on the main menu, no matter how many you've actually survived. Okay, yeah, it was glitched. The fire's still lit, so we're good. Oh, hey, the fog's gone. I didn't expect that to do it, but... Alright, so I think... I think we were on that island over there. Yeah, we were on that one. I'm not going to go back just yet because I do need to heal, but I do want to look for the crater. Where the hell's the crater? I know we have it around here. That's not going to help. Oh, is it this? Is this the crater? No, it's not fully surrounded, so that's not the crater. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Here's the crater. Yeah. Okay, so the crater is, like, just offshore. It's right here. But, the crater, this area here, this is, like, the perfect depth to, fill up the water bucket safely. And because it's completely enclosed, and in the shallows, tiger sharks can't get in here. So that's actually really nice. Granted, that's a quirk of random generation and doesn't actually mean anything, but... Still, nice to be able to have a place where we can get water constantly. And yeah, this is basically my base. I have a bed, and I have 2 grills. One for food, one for water. And that's basically all I'm going to need for my base. I don't need to build any houses or anything. So... You'll notice those fires are lasting a while. You can't put out fires once you start them. Ah, wait, they are breeding. Okay, good. Because there's some more male crabs here. Now, where's the female at? There should be a female crab around here, right? Okay, we are now at full HP. Excellent. Okay, good. Yay, they're repopulating. So they're all in there. This one I think's abandoned. But that's okay. You also notice, just like the full game, saving and reloading removes any and all stumps. So we don't have to worry about those anymore. Right. Let's head back out to that island and see if we can settle our score with Mr. Tiger Shark over there. Okay. So previously, the tiger shark that was bothering us was over here. So let's see if we can find him. Because unlike our home island, this island actually has loot that we want. Yeah, you can see, I can already see 3 splashes from here. There's one right there, and there's 2 over there. We just need to know where our sharks are. That way we can deal with them first. Let's see. I'll save here. There he is. Okay. I'm assuming it's that one. So let's go over this way then. This could be... Uh-oh. No, 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 no. Don't want to lose the raft. Don't want to lose the raft. Double speed should allow us to keep up with him. There he is. Now, sharks won't, like, auto-bump your raft, but if they make... Yeah, as you can see, if they make contact with it, they will kind of, like, swat it aside. So... And you can see they will also attempt to tail whip your raft. That is something they can do. Okay, got a few good smacks in there. If I had flippers, this would be a lot easier. Oh, crap. Okay, so I think that's the one that we actually were beating up on earlier. Because now this guy's got a friend, and I'm not too particularly enthused about fighting 2 tiger sharks at once. Without a ranged attack, that's a suicide mission. So we want to try and kill this one, if we can. Now, eventually, he is going to run away. That's just a fact of life. He's going to run. Matter of fact, I think he may have done. Yeah, he did. He ran away. There he is. Let's see if we can loop around him like that. See if we can tempt him over here with our tasty bits of flesh. I don't know where the other guy is, but you are as good as mine once you turn around. Okay, the other guy's over there, so as long as I can keep them isolated, this shouldn't be bad. I just need you over here, Mr. Tiger Shark. Come here. Ah, I missed. You don't want to turn your back on them for too long, because you never know where they are. Okay, he ran off again. Where did he go? He must be critically injured because he keeps running away instead of trying to come back for a bite. So where is he? I'm pretty sure I didn't kill him. He's still around somewhere. Where are you? There he is. Oh yeah, he's keeping pace with us at double speed. He's angry. That's how you can tell he's taking a lot of damage, is if we're going double speed and he's still keeping pace. Yeah, he's got to be close to dead. Now, where did he go? He dove, but I think he's fleeing again. There he is. He's playing games with me is what he's doing. Whoa, 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 whoa. My raft flipped. That was a glitch. I think my raft... Oh, he's going to bite me. Whoa! I dodged that somehow. I don't know how, but I did. Okay, hey, stop. You're game, you're glitching. Stop glitching. Okay, come here. Okay. Got a couple of smacks in. Something about this piece of shoreline's causing the game to hitch, and I don't like it. Okay, so where is he? Am I stuck in like a perma-crouch? Okay, he's over there. I need to get my raft back if I can. Come on. Yeah, I think what happened there was I was going too fast and stopped too suddenly. And that caused my raft to flip out. Okay, Tiger Shark. Where are you? It's getting late in the day, and I don't want to retreat. Okay, he's around. The music's still playing. Oh, he's right there! Hello! What are you doing in the shallows? Now, a glitch that you used to be able to do was you used to be able to, once you got that first hit, is you could just hold the attack button and hit them no matter where they were. A series of ghost hits, as it were. And you could eventually kill them that way, and that was the best way to deal with them. In this version, that doesn't work. You'll still hit them and damage your weapon, but it won't deal any actual damage. See, now I've got a very angry tiger shark potentially guarding my raft, and I don't know where he is. If I had flippers, this wouldn't be as much of a problem. Let's see if I can get back to my raft at least. Notice you also swim slower on the surface than you do underwater when you're sprinting. Where is he? There he is. He just dove. I'm pretty sure he saw me. Yeah, there he is. He's keeping his distance. There he is. Yeah, he is very much keeping his distance. Oh, and he's guarding some pretty big boats, too. Where'd he go? Where is he? Oh, he's over there. Come on. Come on, you coward. I'm gonna go, if he gets close enough, I'll go for one more pass. But I may have to let him go, just because it's getting too late in the day. Yeah. What I may end up having to do, because I don't think I can catch up with him and kill him, is what I may end up having to do is postpone any attempts at shark killing until I can get my hands on some flippers. Because once I get some flippers, I'll actually be able to keep up with him while he's underwater and can just continually smack him upside the head, which will make him a lot easier to kill. Well, I guess since we don't have any other reason to hang out around here right now, I'm pretty sure we've already grabbed all the loot that was around here. Let's see. No, we didn't. Let's see. Machete, cloth. Bring my compass back. Yep, okay. So we can take all this stuff. We'll head back home. Sleep through the night. Whoa! Yay, janky collisions! Making me almost lose my main mode of transportation. Come on. Okay, this fire has burnt out. I don't think... No, it's still doing the orange glow. It's still got a full sticks, or full thing of sticks. So, no, I don't actually think that. Alright, so we have 2 machetes now. That'll actually be pretty handy. Now, let's see. Medical supplies. I think we kept the medical supplies... I don't think we have any medical supplies, actually. I'll tell you what, I'll leave the medical supplies over here by the grill. That way they're pretty easy to access. Or the grills, rather. Okay, so... that one's been reduced. Looks like it's still glowing. No, they're both still burning. Okay. Cloth I'll count as medical supplies, so that goes there. Then we have the axe and the compass. I mean, we kind of know where we're going, so we don't need the compass at this juncture. So I'll put this with the other tools. Put that right there with the other tools. And we'll sleep through the night. Now, this will damage our stats a bit, but it will get us to the next day. Okay, a bit. It damages our stats a lot, but that shouldn't be a problem. We still have a couple of crabs here. Okay. I can drink 2 sips from here. And then grab a coconut to top off. So what I'm probably going to have to do is I'm probably going to have to go over there and instead of trying to kill the shark, just settle for chasing it away. Because if I can at least get it away from those really big wrecks, I can loot what's inside them and potentially get like a pair of flippers or something. And the flippers will actually let me have a fighting chance. Because at this juncture, they just keep running away and I can't catch him. He's just too fast. But the flippers could make a difference. Okay. We'll go around this way. So there were two big wrecks out there. Where were they? I'm trying to see the splashes. They were out in this direction, weren't they? Yeah, they were like out and around here somewhere. Wait. Might be too early in the morning to tell, but I think they were out and around there somewhere. Yeah, they were near him. So we at least know we're in the right area. I really want that loot. Okay, yeah, I can see one of the masks sticking out of the water right next to him. Alright. You want to play, Shark? Got him! Okay, he is dead. So much for your health regeneration. Yeah. Alright. Haha! We bagged our first one, guys. Alright, you'll stay right here. Now you gotta be careful, because ragdolls like this are really bouncy. So, very possible we might end up accidentally losing them. Now, we do need to be careful, because we know there's two around here. We killed him, yeah, but that doesn't mean the other one's not nearby. So, just need to be careful when exploring the wrecks is all. Right, well, we took care of the Guardian. So let's see about these. Alright, so this one looks like your standard... This one looks like your standard fishing boat. So let's see what we got here. Hard case. What do we got? Cloth. Okay. What about down here? What's inside? Another bucket. I will always take buckets. Antibiotics. That's really good. This locker... A pocket knife. That's not particularly useful. And an engine. Okay. So... Yeah. Let's head back, because we need to drop off. Where's my arrow? Here it is. Alright. Antibiotics, that's good, because that cures poison. Got another cloth. And a bucket. Alright, bucket means more water. It hasn't happened yet, because we've only really had fog banks and nothing really much else. But the other two weather types are rain and storms. Rain partially reduces visibility and makes everything wet, obviously. And then thunderstorm is basically a combination of fog bank and rain. It's heavy rain, it's really dark, can't see anything. Now, the benefit of rain and thunderstorms is if you have any buckets that are partially emptied, specifically any freshwater buckets that are empty at any amount, the rain will fill those up. Okay, there's a cabinet here. A bandage! Excellent! We are well stocked on medical supplies. Okay, that shark scared me, but it's nothing. Anything up front? There's a hard case with nothing in it. Okay. Oh, come on. Get on the damn raft. There we go. Yeah, that black tip scared me, but he's harmless. Alright. Well, we got a bandage, so that'll help. But yeah, those kind of elongated boats, like the one where I got this bandage from, the lower deck can sometimes be open, and there are things down there that you can move, but it seems to be a 50-50 chance whether or not that they're actually open. So let's go investigate. Let's see, we investigated those. There's that one out there. That's a little ways off. So let's go see what this one has for us. There's a stingray. That's not dangerous. Okay, this one's kind of deep. Oh, it's a plane. Okay. Yeah, this one's kind of out here. Oh, it's actually... Yeah, this is a plane. So, console. I can't see what you have. Engine. Useless. Let's see. And then there's nothing in the back. Oh, toolbox. Okay, so this whole wreck was completely pointless because there was nothing in it. Watch out for that lionfish. Lionfish will poison you. Yeah, unfortunately, there is a very distinct chance that whenever you open the container, it will have nothing in it. So, yeah, that kind of sucks, but oh well. It's kind of a do what you need to, take what you can get kind of thing. We still managed to get some very good items. Oh, and look who's trying to block us from escaping. Do you want to play? Yes, you do want to play. Come here, Mr. Shark. He tried to tail whip me. Nice try. Here, Mr. Shark. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, getting you some good hits. Ow. Okay, I got a ghost hit on him, but... Oh, he's fleeing, too. He's running the hell away. We didn't get much in the ways of loot, but I'm feeling a power high after killing that first shark, so... Oh, wait, did I just get a quadruple? I think I did. Completely on accident. I didn't even know you could get those. Okay, Mr. Shark. Ah, missed. Gotcha. Oh, okay, he's probably going to turn here in a second. Oh, he did! Yeah, you're mine now. Now, something you may have noticed is that the bodies do not float like they do in the main game. They drop straight to the bottom, which makes it pretty easy, because there are some areas of bottomless abyss, not as prevalent as there are in the main game, but they still exist. If a body like that falls into an area of bottomless abyss, it is gone for good, and you cannot get it back. Get on the raft! Jeez. Alright, are there any sort of like bubbles out here now that I've killed the sharks that live here? If I'm not mistaken, that island right there is home, so... Okay, how are we doing? I'll definitely want to come back for all of this. Let's start ferrying stuff. And I don't think sharks respawn in this version if you kill them. They might. I don't remember if they do. It's either they do and they have a stupid short respawn time, or they don't. Because I know in the full game, they take forever to respawn. Like, once you kill them, they stay dead for an in-game month. Actually, while we're here, let's pay a visit to the crater. Another cloth, bandage, antibiotics, and vitamins. The only thing I don't have is a morphine shot. Oh, wait, I accidentally closed the game out. That's not what I meant to do. Wait, no, that is what I meant to do. I thought I hit quit to desktop by accident. Whoops. Man, these fires are lasting forever. I'll at least wait for that to ding before we move on. Fill this up for the road. And again, we'll wait for this to purify before we move on. Because I actually want to go back and get those sharks. Because shark meat in this one, not as, like, stupid overpowered as it is in the main game. Because in the main game, you can just smoke all the shark meat and basically never run out of food. But the shark meat in this game's pretty filling. It'll keep you going for a while. While we're waiting on that, let's go check on our crab friends. See how they're doing. Crabs! Oh, crabs! Where are you, my crabby friends? Yeah, you can see, like, basically none of them are hanging out over here. So yeah, that one's dead, but that's okay. We have some over here. At least, I think we do. Let's see, there's a male crab. I see a male. Okay, there's a female. There's a main male. There's a few. Okay. Yeah, they're slowly repopulating. They're getting their numbers back up. Oh, it died. How come this one died before this one did? This one has literally been burning since day one. Might as well fill this up. about to say, where's my raft? There it is. Let's head over. I want to get the shark meats. Don't want to wreck the arrow, now do we? Alright. Time to cut these guys up. You get 2 fillets, 1 chunk, and a fin. Holy crap, he duplicated! Okay. I didn't expect that, but hey, I'll take an extra shark's worth of meat. So, I believe in terms of nutrition, the fins give the least, and the chunks and the fillets, I think, give the same amount. Whereas the fillets, or I think crabs give like 1.5 or 2 points or something like that. The fins, I think, are a guaranteed 2 points, or it might be 2.5. Whereas the chunks and the fillets are a guaranteed 3 points. I think they're just guaranteed 3 points. So, a full thing of shark meat will last you for a long time. Oh, have you finally burnt out? No, you're still glowing. I think we may just have an infinite fire here. So let me drop all of this delicious shark meat onto this grill. As you can see, definitely a lot more janky. And basically, we just wait for our stuff to cook. You're going to hear a lot of dings, because we're going to be having, like, I think 12 things of food cooking. And then we have the water as well. So, okay. Water's good to go. We've got our water supply settled. Now it's got to wait for all the shark meat to cook. Taking your sweet time there, aren't you? It didn't grab. Okay, something dinged, so something cooked. Okay, so it looks like it cooked the fins. Oh yeah, because the fins give the least nutrition. They take the least amount of time to cook. So the chunks and the fillets should cook here shortly. Okay, and I do believe, yep, that is all of that shark meat cooked. So yeah, we can just sleep through the night. Yeah, we'll be fine. Alright, good morning, world. Good morning, Wally. These fires are still going. Okay, never mind. Those shark meat fins filled us up a lot more than I thought they would. Okay. I want to go somewhere else now. I think that island over there, it's either that island or that island. One of those two is actually fairly close to that one. So... What do I want to do? Let's go that way. We'll go 170. That's where we're going next. So, to 170 it is. The primary things I'm looking for... I would, of course, always take more buckets, because that means more water and longer survivability if I have more buckets. Primarily what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a pair of flippers, and I'm also looking for some better weaponry, and, of course, medicine. But the flippers are, like, the really big one. Let me just check my heading again. That is 170. Okay, it may not be this island. This island seems pretty far away. Oh, no, never mind. There it is. Okay, so this is already looking pretty good. We've got a derelict on the shore. Okay. So we took 170 to get here, so we need to look at 350. And the island at 350 is that one right there. So let's drop our paddle. And point it that way. Right, let's go find some sticks. Actually, I want to check this derelict first. Hard case? That's got a pocket knife. I really don't care. Like, a pocket knife basically is just slightly faster cutting stuff down when I don't need to worry about that because I've got a rock shard. So, let's see. Ooh, there's a big boat out there. We've got another one of those smaller derelicts here, too. Keep my eyes open for sharks, of course. Yeah, looks like we've got a fishing boat. Another derelict. Hang on. Yeah, we've got another derelict. What's this? Oh, cloth. We are getting a bunch of cloth. That's really nice. Okay, you could potentially have something good. What's in here? Toolbox. Another machete. They really want us to have some swords. Alright, let's see. Well, I'm not seeing any tiger sharks in the vicinity. So that's a positive. I just need one more stick. There we go. Man, a lot of these islands seem really close together. Actually, I think that's the one we were just at. So we're looking at 350, which is that one right there. And that should be the one right there, so okay. Drop those. Don't need the compass because we already know where we're at. Yeah, we'll take this. Let's go around and check out that fishing boat. Oh, hello. There's something here. Oh, that looks like a regular ship that's covered in coral. Boat's being a little bouncy. I don't like that. Okay. Yeah, covered in coral, a cabinet, more antibiotics. I won't say no to more antibiotics. Anything up front? Hard case. With a flashlight. We already have a torch, so we don't need a flashlight. Functionally, the two are identical. They don't have any real difference. Let's see, I think the storm lanterns are also still in this version, so having the storm lanterns would at least make navigating the home a little bit easier. I'm gonna have a quick scout real quick since we're in the region. Oh, no, I was wrong. There's a tiger shark right there. And we still don't have any means of dealing with him. So, aside from just basically a extended bullfight. So, okay, getting up on top of this fishing boat's going to be real tricky because I want what's up there. That's a hard case. Hard cases can have flippers in them. Ah! All right. Can't see what's in there. What is in there, if anything? I don't think anything is in there, actually. Yeah, the jumping Stranded Deep in this version's really bad. From the looks of it, it has nothing. So, yeah, that was just a complete waste. What's in here? More antibiotics. We are getting a lot of poison cures. Ooh, I like that. Okay, this is the Refined Axe. A strong tool with good durability. That is probably the strongest tool in the game, both in terms of pure durability and damage output. That is your shark killer. So much so that once I actually break this axe, I'm going to swap to that refined one, because the Refined Axe is just that good. Ew. Alright, we got some better armaments. That's always helpful. That looks like an overturned boat. Okay, so the arrow is pointing that way. Let's see, we got this. 2 antibiotics bottles. so there's another set of bubbles out here. What are you? This... Okay, this is literally just a derelict. That has nothing in it. This is like the barest bones of a ship. So, okay. Yeah, that had nothing in it. And I think... No, that's a rock. It'd be moving if that was our tiger shark buddy. No, actually, this is the shell of a boat. It's not a rock. Well, let's see. There's the tiger shark. Looks like he's guarding something. Yeah, there is something out there. Time? It's noon. We'll be fine. Alright, let's see if we can deal with this idiot. Since he seems to just kind of be hanging around. Ooh, there's two out here. That's good. Well, two wrecks, I mean, not two sharks. Oh! You're already attacking me. You're already aggressive. He doubled back, assuming it's the same shark. It might not be. It might be a different one. I'm kind of keeping my eyes open in case, well, that's the case. So what are you doing? Right now, he's just doing the whole circling me bit. I'm going to move over this way a bit. This way, he's more inclined to go into the shallows while circling me. Get out of here. Yeah, he tried to flip me there. Ah, missed. Yeah, he turned. Uh-oh, it's raining. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to shore because the water's gonna get real dark. Yep. Okay, you get out of here. Yeah, it's raining. If you look straight up, you can see the rain particles, but yeah, it's raining. So, nothing we can do out on the water until this subsides. So I guess we can start looking for coconuts and stuff. Rocks, coconuts. Now, the main way you can tell this is just regular rain and not a storm is because we can still see the horizon. If it was storming, we would not be able to see the horizon. It would just be completely blocked out. But as it stands, it's just rain, not a huge deal. What time is it? It's 3 o'clock. What I might do is I'll finish gathering rocks and stuff around here, and then probably head back to base. Yeah. Okay. This is all I'll be able to take with me. Take this just in case I need to navigate back. Almost destroy my arrow. Nice going there, Jank. Alright, 10. We're going that way. Now, the reason I want to go home, whoa, is I want to take advantage of the weather, if I can. Unfortunately, the rain also drowns out any shark noise. So if I am being followed, I don't know. Well, there's our grills, so at least we know we're home. These fires are still burning. And then with the rain, that should refill. Or, you know, the rain could stop by the time I get home. Thanks. I got some more rocks. These things are still glowing. Eh. I swear, like, the fire underneath our food grill is, like, infinite. It's gotta be. Because it hasn't gone out. We've been here for days. Yeah, this is our 5th day, and this thing has been going straight for that long. Like, yeah. And yeah, it's late enough in the day that I can justify staying here, so. Let's have a look at our friends, the crabs. Ooh, okay, so there's a male coming around over here. There's a female right there. Where are the rest? There's a tiny male right there. There's a big male right there. A big female, a big male. Okay, so they're all hiding under that rock. So yeah, they're repopulating, slowly but surely. They are repopulating. Need a fin. There we go. Okay, we are not doing too bad for ourselves. Not doing too bad at all. I'm going to take a risk here since we already have our arrow. I'm going to take a risk and go without the compass. Just to keep a little bit of extra space. The inventory is at such a premium. Alright, we're back in the right place. Let's see. I think our tiger shark was somewhere over here. Let me see. Okay, I see him. He's over there. I think I see some bubbles in the distance, too. I could be wrong, though. Yeah, it's like 8:30. It's a bit too early in the morning to really see those. Wait, either there's multiple sharks or he just moved really quick. Okay, I think he's just moving really quick. Granted, I did smack him a couple of times, so that would probably influence his speed a little. So, let me see. Because we looted that one. Man, aside from being a good range tool, I miss Puck Puck for being able to use him like a pair of binoculars. I'm not seeing any bubbles, though I'm pretty sure there were some out here. Trouble. Though, strangely, he didn't seem to notice us, even though he got really close. You gonna surface again? Oh, wait. I think I see one, like, way out there. That might just be the skeleton, though. Let's see if we can find our tiger shark friend first. Deal with him if possible, and then we'll go look. Where are you? Thing is, the sharks in this version of the game move fairly quick. So when they dive, you never know when they're going to surface again. There he is. He's over there. Where are you? There he is. Come on. I know you see me, and I know you want me. Come and get me. The music's playing. I know you're aggroed. Come on. are you, you stupid fish? I don't think I smacked him up that much. He shouldn't be running away from me at this point. There he is. Let's see. Get a few solid smacks on him there. Watch out, he might be coming back around. And I've lost him, so now I don't know where he is. Okay, the important thing is that's not him. That's a derelict. So where is he? He's gotta be hurt, though, because he didn't turn around and come back. Instead, he fled wherever he went off to. Ooh, okay. That's a boat we haven't explored yet. That's a double-decker. So that'll actually be worth exploring pretty heavily. And the fact that that is a double-decker, in these early versions, the double-decker is one of the boats you really want to find, because double-deckers have a lot of loot. Okay, he went to the other side of the island. That's not a huge deal. However, I want to intercept him before he can potentially cause another problem. Just remember the double-decker is past that. Come here, shark. Oh yeah, he's really trying to catch me. Missed. Oh, whoa! You saw that tail whip. He wanted me gone. He's like, get out of here. Here's the thing, too. He fled. Yeah, he's running away. Get back here, you coward. There he is. Oh, he's trying to cut me off. Whoa! Okay, yeah, that was another glitch. You coming back? No. Okay, my boat glitched again. There we go. Still, I got him once and sent him packing. He's got to be close to death if he's constantly running away like that. He has got to be. Where is he, though? Right there. That answers my question. Die. Oh, hell yeah, he did. Another dead tiger shark. And that means more food. Alright, well, with him dead, that means that double-decker over there is ripe for the picking. Okay, we know where the double-decker is. I'm just going to save before going over there. So something else I haven't really discussed about this version of Stranded Deep is that this version of Stranded Deep actually has biomes. You don't really see it too much because all of the biomes are completely underwater, but there are biomes. Okay. Okay, we want to watch out for that lionfish. Come on. Get in there. There we go. Cabinet. What's in here? Vitamins, console, engine, locker. Locker? Ooh, another axe. That's a color. I don't want that. Let's see. But the biomes, they range from like shallows to coral reef to deep abyss. There's one called sandy plains, I think. Don't get stuck. Okay, where's the door? Okay, the door's right here. What's in this one? Hard case, another cloth. That's good. And the locker. Flare gun's useless. Binoculars might be useful. I want the cloth. Okay, nothing particularly stand out here. But... okay, I'm drowning. Hang on. Ooh. Alright. Well, we looted this is almost as much as we could. I'm gonna head back down and see if there's anything else that might be grabbable. Aha! Hard case. Flippers! Hell yeah! Alright, you can actually see how much faster we move underwater with the flippers now. So, with the flippers, we can go toe-to-toe with a single tiger shark. Note that I said single tiger shark. If there's more than one of them, it's still a bad idea to go up against them. Okay. I am glad I looted that double-decker, because we are good to go. We have very little to fear now, because we've got our basic equipment for underwater combat. I'll take those. You shall be my munchies. Oh, hold on, there's something else. That's not the double-decker, I don't think. Is that the double-decker? No, I don't think so. Whatever this is, I can't see it. This might be the skeleton. Let's see. Oh, okay. I don't want to go down there. That is incredibly deep water. When the water is black like that, that means you're in, like, great white territory. You do not want to go down there. So, on the flip side, that was a double-decker. Yeah, it's really late in the day. I may come back for that later, but that is incredibly deep water. Like, there is a very distinct chance that there is a great white haunting that place down there. It's rare, but not out of the realm of possibility. Okay, so I want to take these axes. Did I not pick up any pills? Okay, those are vitamins, not antibiotics. That explains that. Okay, so I've gathered everything that I reasonably can for this trip. Let's head on back home. Much like with the base game or the main game, Great Whites in the early versions are not something you want to screw around with. Unless you're playing the, like, absolute very first alpha build, which is 0.01. Because in 0.01, the Great Whites didn't have AI. So they would just float there on the surface, not react to your presence at all. They wouldn't dive, they wouldn't attack you. You couldn't kill them either, they didn't have HP. They were just placeholder models that swam around. They didn't really do much. But, otherwise, Great Whites are not something you want to screw with. Because, almost guaranteed bleed, pretty decent chance to break your arm, and they will do half your health and damage. Pretty nasty creatures. Are they glowing still? Yep, we still have infinite fire. Gotta love having an infinite fire. Getting a lot of cloth and not a lot of duct tape. I got a lot of poison cures, at least. More shark meat for the grill. Oh, jeez, the grill. What's up, Wally? Alright, I got some axes. I may actually want to take... Sup, Jaren? I may actually want to take those big axes with me. Granted, my crude axe is going to last me for quite a while, because I've already killed 3 sharks, and that's just 79% durability gone. Which should tell you how much durability the refined ones have, when the crude one is not even, like, a fourth of the way gone after 3 shark kills. So, well, technically, no, it's 3. Because one of the sharks duplicated. So how you doing, Jaren? Alien, you just finished Faz. I imagine Star was with you too. He said he'd be doing that tonight. Since the First Stooges aren't meeting. How did it go? Did you finally die? This campfire finally died. Okay. It took that campfire 6 days to die. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I think we'll be fine for a while. Doing good, and yes, Star was with us. Kayla got by the ghost in the first game. No deaths passed there. What got her? We can at least go ahead and reload the fires before heading to bed for the night. Let's see, Maroy, our sanity was probably already kind of low when you got Spirit Box, so right as I was about to go check it hunted, she got caught more or less immediately, and I barely broke line of sight and got into a closet. Dang. Which is funny, because you're the one who got cursed. Well, there's no real reason to worry about food for a bit. I've got so much freaking shark meat. Well, let's head to bed. Sup, Wally? Definitely need something to eat. Do I have any more cooked fins? Yeah, I do. Hooked shark. Oh. Huh. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. Check my stats. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Okay, Jaren, I'm about to do something particularly foolhardy that may or may not get me killed. Or at the very least, severely injured. Let's go check out that double-decker. Oh boy, I'm not looking forward to this. Another thing that makes great whites scary is that tiger sharks will kind of announce themselves every now and again by coming to the surface. Great whites don't do that. In this version, they will always stay below the surface. If they aggro onto you, they will torpedo you from below and almost guaranteed knock you off if they manage to do so successfully. Almost to the cell. This should be the right one. Okay, so what we're looking for is we're looking for some bubbles that are kind of out and about. They will show up later on in the day, I think. But there's one that's somewhere over here, pretty far out. Yeah, she blamed me, of course. Other highlights was the random map making stars last game. Sunny Meadows restricted. Ouch. And as soon as he left, very next game was actual Sunny Meadows. Also, last game had Kayla and I glitch ourselves by grabbing the glow stick at the same time. One of us shook it. Caused our inventories to get completely bugged for a bit. And after hers got fixed, mine stayed bugged till near the end. Also, good luck. Yeah, so there's a second double-decker boat that's like in really dark water around here. And in this particular version of Stranded Deep, dark water is usually where the great whites live. So I'm going to be risking a potential great white attack to loot a double-decker. Which, a double-decker I would say is worth it, because those can have a lot of good stuff. I just need to figure out where the wreck itself is. I can't see the bubbles from here. Unfortunately, it's a bit too early in the day for me to see the bubbles from this current position. Knowing my luck, there's probably going to be a fog bank or a storm or something. Now let's see, we got a stingray. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Of course, that's where the sun is like rising from, so it's going to be harder to see that way. Oh, that might be it. Hang on. Yeah, this is pretty far out. Okay. Fingers crossed there's no great white down here. Ooh, I don't like this. Ooh, morphine. Okay. Morphine's for a broken bone. A lantern. That's pretty good. Duct tape. Excellent. I feel ill. Oh! I think I got hit by a sea urchin. Like a sea urchin or a lionfish or something. Oh no, he's coughing. He's actually sick. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, so what happened there is I've caught a cold. I went down too far. So, the good news is, though, no great white. We've got some pretty good stuff. So, let's head back to shore for a minute. I think I have a vitamin thing. Yeah, vitamins can cure it. So a lantern will be helpful. Duct tape can make bandages, and morphine is for broken bones. Alright. Alright, so we explored the top part. Let's see about the door. Where's the door? There it is. What do we got down here? Hard case, binoculars, not useful. Locker, don't need a pocket knife. Axe is useful. That's useful. There should be one more thing. Like a hard case right here. Yeah, what's this hard case got? Air tank. Very nice. Yeah, my dude is definitely sick, but I got some pretty good items out of that. Right. How's my health doing? I didn't take too much from drowning, so that's fine. Okay, so let's figure out what we need to take back. Well, we're done diving that deep, so let's take these vitamins. Yeah, you can't see your status, but... Alright, the vitamins should have cured my cough. Oh, wow, those things... The durability did drop, but dang, they have a lot of uses. Okay. I'll take the morphine, because the morphine's more, like, immediately useful to me. Alright, so let's head back home, which is that island over there. We'll have to run back and forth to pick up some stuff, but I think that should do good. So, alright. Morphine, more cloth, got a good axe, air tank. Now, unlike the, I think I mentioned this previously, unlike the main game, the air tank cannot be used to craft a weapon of any kind. It is purely there just to refill your air when you're really deep underwater. Now, due to the lack of things like cargo barges, there really isn't anything deep enough to warrant doing that. Unless you are in, like, Great White territory, in which case, what are you doing? Why are you tangoing with Great Whites? Because there is nothing that you can get from Great White territory that you can't find in safer areas. Which is probably why, in future versions, the devs just decided to make Great White territory just a bottomless abyss with nothing down there. Because nobody was going down there anyway. At least nobody that had any sense. But, back to the subject of biomes, the fact that we've been able to see, like, the ocean floor semi-periodically, or at least we've seen like kelp and stuff growing from it, has indicated that we have been in shallows biomes most of the time. Great whites, or not great whites, tiger sharks can only be found in shallows biomes. You can, well, they're not only found there. You can find them in the deep ocean too. But in the really deep areas, the deep ocean biomes, that's the only places where you can find great whites. Take my medicine, and we can head on back. Yeah, I was actually, when I saw I feel ill, I thought I got poisoned, but nah, he's just caught a cold, that's all. Went too deep. I think we'll head on back, call it a stream here. I think this was a good enough showcase of earlier versions, because the basic core gameplay loop is more or less the same. I'd say the only real difference is that instead of cargo barges, this version of Stranded Deep has these giant oil rig looking things called sea forts. You can only find them in the deep ocean biomes, and they are loaded with loot. They were a very nice find if you could find one. Like, getting an early sea fort was basically just your set for a majority of your run. Crude bandage just makes a bandage. And then we can stick this. We kind of already know where our bed is. We can see the grill from the fire. So we can set... We'll set this right here, I think. That'll be a good place for that. And then for the machete... Once again, we have a lot of swords, but I think we're good. How are we doing on stats? Hungry a little, but not too bad. Stream is at a little over 3 hours, so I think this will be a good place to stop. This will be it for this chill stream, and by extension, that'll also be it for Let's Stream Stranded Deep. So, I hope all y'all enjoyed, and I will see y'all tomorrow with another chill stream. See ya!